Chargers, Tennessee. This one, if you're a Chargers fan, you can step out of the room for a minute. But
Give it to me here.
As much as I want to put this on Herbert, I just can't put this on Herbert alone. 10-6 air yards of attempt. I think that's the most his rookie year. So we're seeing the ball pushed down the field more. Usually we say he's not pushing the ball down the field. Eckler's out, so they can't run the ball. 2.9 a carry versus 4.2 for the Titans.
Hey.
And there have been 33 teams in ever, Kyle, that have had 50 points and 0 turnovers the first 2 weeks. There's only one that's not like the others. Chargers start 0-2 out of that subset. Wow. And on top of that, since 2010, 275 more pass yards and no turnovers in a game. That wins 80% of the time. You won't be surprised to find the Chargers are in the 20% there. So
in the last 4 games, in Herbert's last 4 games, he has 1,100 pass yards, 7 total touchdowns, no picks, and a 66% completion rate. His team is 0-4.
They are a caricature of themselves, the Chargers. Every time I say something good about the Chargers, people remind me that they're the Chargers.
My leg!
And every time I'm like, well, it's going to be different now. But as long as Brandon Staley's coach, I don't know if it's going to be different. You got a defensive head coach. You know, they're 21-10 in games when Herbert leads in the fourth quarter. They had a chance to win in regulation. They give up a sack. Nobody's open. And in OT, I thought a little bit of that was on Herbert. They go 3 and out. But if you're such a great defensive team, the Titans, I mean, they got 2 shots that got them in the game late. Otherwise, first down, take the check down. Start the drive. Don't throw it up into double coverage. Third down, maybe they need to get a timeout there or something. But I could put that on Herbert. I'm kind of going to put it on the coach though. And I hate to beat the guy up, but when you're a defensive head coach and your team is hosting track meets every week, it's a problem. And when you can't win those key moments in games, final 2 minutes, middle 8, whatever it is, it shows up here. And all these metrics that you say, this is an anomaly. How is this happening? I got to look at the coach.
It's wild because he wasn't the coordinator in Chicago. He was the outside linebacker coach when Khalil Mack was there. He was part of a defense that was structured very similar to the Chargers defense in terms of personnel. They've got stars at all levels of the field, and they have an even better offense in L.A. How are you not winning these games? You've been in these games a million times as a coach in your career, and you've seen the way Vic Fangio and head coaches have dealt with some of these situations. It leaves me scratching my head every time somebody explains to me what Brandon was thinking.
Well, they're going to go to Minnesota this week, okay? And the pass defense is atrocious.
Justin Jefferson's going to have 800 yards.
Justin Jefferson's going to have, a lot of yards, like a mile of yards. And if Brandon Staley gets back on that plane, I don't want to say if they lose to Minnesota and Brandon Staley gets back on that plane, I feel like he knows it's one of the last times he's getting back on that plane. I don't know where their heads at.
I just gulped when you said that.
I don't know where their heads at.